I don't know if you remember me, I was part of your treatment program for the depression that you went through a little while ago.
Yeah, you do.
So I just wanted to schedule a follow-up appointment to see how you were doing.
I'm okay. I've gone to a lot of support groups and they help me out with imagery, so that's going good.
Good.
And it helps with the medication that I'm on now.
Yeah, I bet. I know talking to people is one of the best therapies.
It is.
So I actually scheduled this appointment today. I know you had kind of struggled with some cigarette smoking recently. Is that something that you would be okay if we talked about?
I guess so.
Okay. Have you had any new things going on with that?
I've just been recently diagnosed with COPD, and I'm having a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, how are you handling that?
I have intermittent shortness of breath when I'm walking, but I was given albuterol and I do 2 puffs twice a day.
So you are having a treatment being done?
Yes.
Is that helping you out at all?
Yes, it helps out a lot. It doesn't fully alleviate my difficulty breathing, but it helps.
It sounds like you're kind of having difficulties walking, and are you able to exercise or run or anything like that?
No, just because it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
So I try to keep my exercise to a minimum.
So is quitting something that you've ever thought about before?
I've thought about it, but I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be successful, and I'll probably relapse. So I've never really tried.
Well, I saw the success that you had with your depression treatment, and that was amazing how you overcame that. So I know that you have the determination down there somewhere to do it. So I would definitely encourage that it would be something that we would talk about if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Do you have any family members that have had smoking problems in the past, or any current family members that smoke?
My father died of lung cancer.
Okay.
He was a heavy smoker.
Does that affect you at all?
Yeah, it shows me what could happen in the future.
Yeah, I know. Smoking is something that it's so addictive, but we worry so much about it with your health, and I know you're already experiencing some of those problems that have come up, but it's definitely something that in the future can affect you a little bit worse, so we make it an important issue that we'd like to talk about and address. So what is I know you have a brother that has a niece, is that correct?
Yeah, my niece.
Yeah, you're pretty close with her?
Yeah, she's a ball of fun. Loves to run around.
How does he feel about your smoking?
He will not let me around her if I'm smoking. We've gotten into fights before because I started smoking in front of her, and he was just not having that because he doesn't want her to develop secondhand smoke. And
so it sounds like you kind of understand the cons of smoking and what it can do for you, but it doesn't really seem like you're exactly ready to go forward with quitting right away. So that's something I would like to talk about. Here we have what's called a readiness ruler. So between 0 and 10, 0 being not at all, and 10 being you're ready to quit right now, what do you think your readiness is for quitting?
Well, I feel like a 3, like that's important. It's really important to change, but for me, I'm probably at a 2 for my ability.
For your wanting to. Okay, so it sounds like you do understand it's more important, but you're not exactly ready to make that step yet. What makes you choose a 2 instead of choosing something more along a 5 or a 6?
Just since I've been smoking since I was 14, it's ingrained in my head, and my father was a smoker, and we smoked together so much, and
yeah, it's kind of like a not a tradition, but kind of a habit that you've gotten into.
Yeah, I don't even think about it, and all of a sudden I'm smoking outside.
Do you worry about your depression coming back if you stop quitting, or if you stop smoking?
Possibly. Just the antsiness and the agitation I get from it definitely puts a damper on how I spend my days.
Okay, so it sounds like you kind of use smoking as a way to relax, a way to get your mind off things.
Definitely.
So what are some other pros that you would say smoking has for you?
It relaxes me, it gives me something to do with my hands, that when I'm bored, it's just the constant. I mean, I've tried chewing gum, but it's not the hands to mouth.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like it's kind of keeping you busy almost. So if you feel like you quit, you wouldn't really have much to do.
You're right.
Okay, well that's something we can talk about definitely. I know we did talk about some cons, not spending time with your niece, and obviously you've had the COPD diagnosis, so there are some health concerns there. But are there any other cons that you can point out?
That my COPD could get worse. My clothes really smell. I can't get that out. As much Febreze as you use,
Yeah.
it just doesn't.
Yep, it sticks around. It definitely does.
My health is already starting to take a turn, and probably just seeing how my dad went to how he died. It wasn't that peaceful death that everyone envisions themselves having. It was really rough.
Yeah, that has to be hard. I can't even imagine. So I know you've gone through a lot, and I've also seen what you're able to overcome and what you're able to do. So I definitely think, even if you're not ready right at this moment, I think smoking is definitely something that you can overcome, because I've seen you do it in the past with something that was so great, and you did a great job with it. So I can definitely see us making some steps in the future. So I'd like to make a plan with you, if that's okay, as far as the little steps that we can take now to kind of get you to take on that bigger step of actually quitting.
Okay.
So do you think there's some options that you can take as far as cutting back a little bit? Is that something that you would be ready to do at all?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I could spend more time with my niece.
Yeah, I definitely think surrounding yourself with people that don't encourage the habit is one of the biggest and best things that you can do. So since your brother is against it, and since you love to spend time with your niece and that's something that you enjoy, I would suggest going to a park or going for a walk or something that you feel like you're busy doing, so you don't need that busyness from smoking, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely surrounding yourself with your brother and your niece or any friends that you have that don't smoke would be one of the best advice that I can give you. And also, I know you might not be at this step yet, but we're just removing the products from your house. So if you have, that stash of cigarettes, it's nice to kind of get that away from you and try and put it out of vision, that out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And also just ask for assistance. I mean, ask your brother to come over and help you or give you something to do or help you clean the house out and stuff, because he's that positive figure, it sounds like, in your life as far as quitting smoking goes.
Definitely a motivator.
Yeah. So what do you think your triggers are?
I think just being bored,
Mm-hmm.
not having anything to do when I'm stressed out, and yeah, those are probably the main two.
Yeah, so it sounds like smoking is kind of just a time filler for you, kind of something to get your mind off things. I know you've been through a lot, so I can see how that definitely just kind of rids your mind of worry and kind of keeps you occupied. But like I said, I think it's really important that you do surround yourself with positive figures and make plans for the day or make a dinner date or something like that with your niece, or go to a movie, just stuff that maybe go to places where you can't smoke or that would discourage you to smoke, so it's not there for you and it's not something that you feel drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right. So I would like to make a follow-up appointment with you. If you're not ready to quit now, that's okay, but I would like to eventually set up what's called a quit date. So we like to schedule that kind of 2 weeks in advance, and you take that 2 weeks to kind of back off and slow down. Let that smoking kind of clear your mind so you can kind of back off the habit of it. So I'd like to set a follow-up appointment, if that's okay with you, where we can kind of talk more seriously about that quit date. Is that something you'd like to do?
Definitely.
What would you say, about 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 weeks would be good.
So after we talked, do you kind of see where I'm coming from, the importance as far as quitting and your lifestyle and staying healthy and stuff like that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because I think it's hard to talk about, but it's good to talk about. So let's go back to this readiness ruler one more time. After we talked and after you kind of got some of the ideas off your head, do you think you're more ready than a 2 to quit?
Yeah, I think I'm more on a 5 now.
Okay, and do you see a little bit more importance in quitting as far as the relationships in your life go and everything like that?
Yes.
Okay, well, it sounds like, just that short amount of time and a little bit that we talked about, it sounds like it made a big impact as far as how you see yourself and how you see your future. So I think it's something that we should definitely keep going with.
Okay.
All right, well, I will see you at our next appointment.